How many times can you fake your own death and get away with it? Well, a woman, she and some accomplices were arrested for faking her kidnapping to extort $50,000 from her own mother.
What?
She sent a video. She's 30 years old, a terrifying video of herself being held hostage, where her friends are in on it. She was blindfolded. Someone was holding a knife to her throat, and there was blood coming out of her mouth.
Oh,
Gosh.
Jeez.
And this is the fourth time she's done this. She's been successful 3 other times against her own mother.
Oh,
she extorted
my gosh.
her mother 3 times for $45,000.
I think it's time she disowns her.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the fourth time you extort your mom, then you're out of the will. But yeah, let's go to our official attorney, Lisa Lanier. Good morning, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Hey, good morning. At some point, the mother has to take a little bit of common sense responsibility here and be like, wait a minute, once, twice,
Yeah,
even 3
that is a good
times.
point.
Fourth time. Shame on me.
Fooled me 4 times. My fault.
Only 4 times,
My
right?
bust. But this is,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously this is illegal, but what are all the...
Can she get her money back is what I want to know.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine that her poor mother probably has any money left.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to get her money back, not at least because they spent it, I'm sure. Because apparently these folks had a gambling issue, and that's actually where they found them. They found the daughter and her accomplices in a casino blowing the money.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and that, the other 3 times they got about a total of equivalent of U.S. dollars 45,000. This time they got 50,000. It's extortion in any country. I mean, it's and the weird thing is, a lot of times in these odd family situations, they don't really completely throw the book at people like they would if it was a non-familial crime. I sent you guys a link via email this morning because this story reminded me of a story from some years back. It was way back in 2009, but Dateline did a thing about it in more recent years, and they've got a podcast out on it that I heard not long ago. This 37-year-old woman named Quinn Gray in Ponte Vedra, Florida, had a wealthy entrepreneur husband who they say, she was actually afraid to divorce or something, and so she seduced a mechanic, an auto mechanic. His name was Jasmine Osmanovich, and she seduced him into aiding her into faking her kidnapping. But then, and he held her supposedly, for several days. Then she turned on him and tried to say that he really kidnapped her, but he knew that she might double cross him, so he had recorded them having sex and talking, and so he was able to say, look, prior to the kidnapping, he recorded their affair in order to save himself if she ever double crossed him. So they ended up finally getting busted. They pleaded guilty to extortion. Neither one of them saw any actual jail time. They were both sentenced to probation. One, he was 6 years probation. She was 7 years probation, and they had to repay all of the sheriff's department costs for the investigation because this was across days. There was this huge manhunt. She had her mother scared to death, much like this story from Spain. She would be on the phone crying and saying, he's going to kill me. And one of the weird things from Go was that she only requested $50,000, which, that's kind of a small amount from your wealthy husband if you were really truly kidnapped. But interesting thing was the husband stood by her for a little while. Because she had a history of, I think, depression and bipolar and some stuff, and he sort of chalked it up to some mental health issues. But then the police called him in and they played the sex tape. And then he was like, okay, I'm out of here.
What would happen? This is probably, some of our luck is that would actually happen to one of us. Like, let's say Jason gets kidnapped from one of his mafia friends or whatever.
Something
and they call his wife Carol and said, you need to give us $5,000 or we're going to kill him. She'd be like, click.
Our service doesn't work.
Okay, $50. Click.
Right.
You're like, oh, dang it.
It does kind of play into how we've talked before on the show about the guys have a hot theory that you'll stick with a certain amount of crazy if she's hot. So I wonder how hot this woman was, and then he just was like,
she was
silly.
attractive. Yeah, she was that was what all the, and I saw pictures of her. She was an attractive blonde woman, and all the accounts, even listening to the podcast, they went on and on about what an attractive woman she was. So, yeah, exactly. I think he put up with He put up with crazy for the hot factor.
Yep.
So he had to listen to her having sex with the auto mechanic that, she seduced.
That was a step too far. Now, and then I think as women on the other side, how much crazy they put up with for the money.
For sure.
Yeah.
Or how much gross, wrinkly body they put up for the money. And then, switch gears a little bit, but kind of in the same vein, this horrible kidnapping and murder in Memphis, Eliza Fletcher.
Oh, yeah.
Where did the justice system fail? I mean, it's like he had kidnapped someone before. Apparently he was accused, or I don't know if he's ever convicted of rape. And then he's out of prison, my understanding, a little bit early.
And he had served 22
years in prison. And then, I mean,
he served his time, didn't he?
But I heard he got out early. I don't know.
There's a lot of situations, and I don't know his reason for getting out early, but there's a lot of situations where these people that have served a long portion of their sentence, because of prison, it can be, sometimes it's prison overcrowding. Sometimes it's rehabilitation platforms that they're trying to say, hey, look, he appears like, and they can fake it too. I mean, they can fake like they're rehabilitated, and they can be perfect model prisoners and then get out and do the same thing. You just never know, because a lot of inmates come out and they really are rehabilitated, but you get these ones that are not, and it's a disaster like this. And, a lot of times you see this where somebody like this gets either a job that they shouldn't have gotten and get access to people, or they get let into like a gated community or swiped into a key card into an office building, all kinds of crazy stuff like that where they shouldn't be. But I think this guy just, like you said, somehow he got out early, but after he served a pretty long time, clearly not rehabilitated.
No.
Yeah.
It's just such a tragic story because, she was kidnapped, brutally raped and murdered, and it's like, she's doing her jog before school.
Yeah, that she had done forever and ever.
Yeah.
Now there's some runs being
I was going to say that.
To finish her run. Is it
finish Eliza's?
Finish Eliza's run, yeah.
Yeah, Josie, obviously that's here, that works with us. She's doing one. Friday, they're meeting at the Friendly Shopping Center, is my understanding, close to the Lululemon store around 5:20 for anyone that wants to join. And she's going to check in with us on the air a little bit with that as well. But we'll post a link to Finish Eliza's Run. There's a sign up. It's free, of course, and in solidarity for her. And, it's obviously a world I don't live in as far as, running.
Yeah, running.
But then also, since this happened, you read a lot of articles about how sometimes women feel danger, or they don't feel safe all the time when they're out exercising. That's a shame. That should never be the case.
Oh, absolutely. I think I'm a runner, and there's plenty of times where, you go for like a trail run, especially if it's like close to dark and, it gets dark, you got a late start or something, and you meet people and you don't know, you just run in, you meet some guy walking, and a lot of times it's like if they're dressed strangely or something, you know what I mean? Like they're inappropriately, you think, well, what's this dude out here in the park that's hot outside? That kind of thing. You start to get worried, and it may be nothing. It just may be an odd guy, but it definitely is a scary thing, and this is a great thing that Josie's doing. I love it. I wish I could come do it with her.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Lisa, you're great. As always, we appreciate you. Official attorney of Jared and Katie in the Morning, ever injured on the job, and she does a lot more than that. Go to hireaheavyweight.com.